fans of
Hey,
wrestling.
how's it going?
Not us.
Yeah, the people that I can't see. Invisible.
You need to get those glasses. They're right
Invisible
there.
people of the internet.
There's even a sign that says Thomas Wolfe back there. He's awesome.
I believe him. Not that
He doesn't
there's-
believe the sign, but he believes that he's awesome.
Yeah, I don't believe that there's a sign, but
All right.
I believe I'm awesome.
I believe he's awesome. I believe all people that have birthdays in November.
This last WrestleMania was the last WrestleMania where The Undertaker defended the streak. Because it was broken by someone that no one wanted to see break it.
Except for himself.
And if you did want to see this person break it,
I will kill you.
leave. Just turn off your computer, leave. Go away.
Good. None of the people here are leaving.
Okay.
Go jump in front of a train.
Alright. Go F5 yourself. Because Brock Lesnar
And
broke the
upload a video to YouTube and tag us, because I want to see that shit.
Because
That'd
Brock
be awesome.
Lesnar broke the streak, and we were mad.
Mm-hmm.
I was
So,
sad. I almost cried.
I know. You contemplated drinking for the first time
I did.
ever.
So,
So did D.
in memorial of the streak, we are discussing who should have broken the streak.
And we're going to give 5 reasons.
This is the top 5 reasons why blank should have broken the streak.
And it's Travis Colt's turn this week to fill in the blank.
Woohoo! So,
Mario?
no.
Oh.
Luigi.
Somebody else that goes woohoo.
Wario. I don't think he goes woohoo. But, no, this is our 4th streak week.
Mm-hmm. We're back around full circle.
Yes.
Yep.
I initially started,
No, this is our
5th.
fifth.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
it's-
This is our 5th.
We've gone a circle and a half.
Because
Yeah.
initially, Kevin and I
I
picked
started.
Shawn Michaels. I picked Wade Barrett. Mr. Thomas Wolfe picked RVD. And our last one, Kevin Hawk's second pick, was Mick Foley.
Woo!
Now,
I shared that video on his Facebook, and no one in the world noticed.
that's all right.
He's sad.
It's on there, and one day he's gonna look back and go, "Wow, these guys know what they were talking
I hope so.
about." But yes, it is my
You
choice
actually
again.
shared it on Foley's Facebook?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes, he did. This initially, I knew a couple different people that I would like to see in a streak match. Someone who I feel could end the streak. And
We're clarifying a streak match is a match versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania,
yes,
and not a match where both people are racing to take their clothes off.
because that's a stripping contest.
Well-
Oh no. Yeah, we're gonna call that stripping.
Strip race.
Strip race. No, yeah, so I thought about it. I was like, okay,
Kind of race.
we've gone through some pretty heavy hitters so far.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, I want to step out of the box
Oh.
and make it a little bit interesting. And
It's like but more.
when I initially picked this person, I realized that there was more to the two of these guys fighting each other in general than I initially thought. I was like, this would be a great match, but then as I did more research, I was like, wow, there's a lot more to this particular matchup. This guy is, the best in the world. This guy is a multi-time champion. This guy is Y2J, Chris Jericho.
Yeah. That's one of those matches that a lot of people said we wish we could have seen
Yeah.
as part of one of the Undertaker's streak matches.
Absolutely.
But no, some people have to have 2.
Yeah.
Greedy streak people.
Some people have to have 3.
Well,
I'm not gonna say any names. Big Nose Parker.
well, when you have 3 letters, it's 1 for each letter. So, the way this works, I've picked Chris Jericho. These guys didn't know that I was picking Chris Jericho. And so
I thought it
now...
was Ernest Miller.
I thought it was Eugene. That's,
And then you pointed at Eugene, so I changed my mind and started pointing at Eugene too.
Yeah.
And I picked Chris Jericho. So what we're doing
I'm
is
picking Eugene.
I've gotten my reasons, and it's up to these two guys to come up with their own reasons as to why they think Chris Jericho should have ended the streak.
You know, we've never talked about this, like, disclaimer rule or anything of that nature.
Someone saying they shouldn't have ended the streak?
Yeah, like, what if one of us picks somebody the other person doesn't agree with?
Okay.
Do we negate, or do we?
Yeah,
are we forced to?
No. I think your reasoning, as long as you have a good reason as to why the person shouldn't have ended the streak. I mean,
That should be your reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So, yeah, maybe that'll happen someday. But I'm pretty sure we're all in unison that Jericho beating the streak is a good
See,
choice.
I assumed that everyone was on the table because it's who should have ended the streak instead of Brock Lesnar.
That's true.
Therefore, everyone is a viable option. Is what I always took.
Unless someone brings up someone going, oh, yeah, I'd much rather see Brock Lesnar, which is when we kick someone off the show.
Yeah.
But that's not happening yet because my reason number one is we've had a couple of Jericho versus Undertaker matches, but never on the stage of WrestleMania. The fact that this would be a first time would have been, the build up to this would have been great because we've got someone who's as prominent as The Undertaker taking on someone who has been prominent in sports entertainment forever, being in ECW, being in WCW, and making a name for himself in WWE. He's been known for doing certain things in every single company. So to have this first time match, I mean, we're talking about the potential of seeing Sting versus Undertaker for the very first time. Now, granted, this wouldn't be the very first match, but this would be their first meeting at WrestleMania in that capacity. We know that both these guys deliver at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
We've had Jericho with matches against, his handicap match against the Legends, his match against Fandango, his match against William Regal,
Shawn Michaels at 19.
Shawn Michaels at 19.
Fantastic
All
match.
very great matches. So we know at WrestleMania Jericho can deliver.
Mm-hmm.
The question would be going into this. He's won so many times. Could Chris Jericho win against The Undertaker at WrestleMania? I think it would have been an awesome build-up. And for a first time ever, it would have been a hell of a match. Who would like to take reason number two? Reason number two is going to Kevin
I'm
Hart.
picking reason number 2, so nobody gets to pick my reason 4.
All right, go for it.
I'm looking at not the build up to the match, but the dynamic of the match in general being okay. I'm just going to go back to what I do almost every week that we do this, is basically starting at like 24, 25 and working our way this way.
Okay.
And I'm just thinking of the guys in the more recent years that Undertaker has faced.
All right.
With the exception of CM Punk, you have to think Batista, Randy Orton, Shawn Michaels twice, Triple H twice, and Brock Lesnar. I think, maybe with the exception, like, you gotta think of the way these matches are put together, too, is it's all very high spot, big move, pounding each other down, breaking through the table, Undertaker dives, all this stuff that makes the match like, oh yeah, these are the reasons why we look forward to the Undertaker matches, because all these things happen. But one of the things that's kind of overlooked in these matches is actual wrestling.
Yeah.
And I think breaking it down, Jericho would have taken it back to actual wrestling in the match.
Yeah.
And this would be one of the first times we would see Undertaker at WrestleMania in a technical style of a match.
Which probably would have adhered very well to his health.
Yeah.
Rather than taking those big bumps constantly.
Yeah.
Breaking it down to just a technical style, we know Undertaker can do it.
Yeah, and we know that, Jericho's not opposed to doing one or two of the big high spots during a Mania match.
Yeah.
Going through a table, jumping out of the ring, off the top rope, kind of thing. But, I think, all in all, saying to the last 5 years, Undertaker's health declining from match to match, you could actually visibly see
Yeah.
this match would have helped save some of those years.
Yeah, and it would have been like less chance of getting a severe concussion and putting on a shit match and collapsing after getting through the curtain. You know, hypothetically.
Now, what kind of asshole would do that?
I'm just saying hypothetically.
God, that'd be a terrible match.
If that were to have happened, that would have been a shame.
Yeah. I definitely wouldn't want to see a match like that.
No.
It'd be unfortunate.
So, I'm thinking, just because the match in the ring itself from bell to bell would have been so different than what we've gotten in the past few years, that's why I think that the Jericho match would have been a great match to end the streak on.
Yeah.
Something different. And something that would make open the door for post-match saying Undertaker might be a lot healthier than he would be rather than losing to somebody like Brock Lesnar who could potentially concuss him and cause him to collapse behind the curtain after the match. But that's just rumor and speculation.
Yeah. Now, reason number 3. As I said in my first reason, we've had a couple of Jericho versus Undertaker matches.
Mm-hmm. I'm from Winnipeg, you idiot.
Yeah.
That moment where Jericho yells at the crowd, that was against the Undertaker.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to...
Okay.
That's what Jericho
I was thrown off. Was that on SmackDown?
I believe so.
Okay. Here's what it is,
Go back
because
to Toronto.
I actually just watched this match last night. SmackDown, on the road to WrestleMania 26, which we know would be the rematch between Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, we were just getting to Elimination Chamber. Undertaker was the World Heavyweight Champion and was getting ready to defend in Elimination Chamber, and one of his Chamber competitors was Chris Jericho. They had a no disqualification match on SmackDown, while another Chamber competitor, I take that back, not Chamber competitor, winner of that year's Royal Rumble, Edge, was at commentary. So Edge knew that he was getting a title shot.
Right.
Now, we have the World Heavyweight Champion Undertaker facing Jericho in a no disqualification match. Obviously, things are going to get a little bit heated with the Royal Rumble winner out there.
Yeah.
The only reason Jericho won this match was because Edge got in and speared the Undertaker. Undertaker pretty much no-sold it, but it distracted him long enough to get hit with a code breaker, giving Jericho the win on SmackDown. Now, after that, going into Elimination Chamber, Jericho would walk out of Elimination Chamber as the World Heavyweight Champion after the Undertaker got Sweet Chin Music by Shawn Michaels. So 2 back-to-back victories for Chris Jericho over the Undertaker because of outside interference. So you take this to WrestleMania, Jericho now has to prove himself. Perhaps they do, everyone's barred from ringside.
Yeah.
Something. Maybe make it a cage match so no one can get
Hell in a
in.
Cell.
Hell in a Cell, just like they did with Triple H at WrestleMania
Technical Hell in a
27
Cell.
or 28. I mean, make it so there's no outside interference. So Jericho has to prove himself, but also the Undertaker has to prove it to himself that those weren't just fluke victories for Jericho. That Jericho really didn't have the Undertaker's number going into WrestleMania. And not only that, but, rather than waiting till it was 21, we go back 4 years, he would have only been 16-0 or 17-0 at that point. So, still illustrious, but not quite at that 20 mark.
Yeah.
But I think that would have been an interesting build because we have a really good build to a Jericho Undertaker match already with these outside interferences. Plus, if you go back to the beginning of Jericho's career, one of his prominent moments was interrupting Undertaker and Big Show in an in-ring segment. So you've got past history, you've got current history, all building to, like I said in my first reason, first time ever WrestleMania.
All right. So
Reason number 4, going on to Thomas Wolfe.
All right. So speaking of past history, building into this match.
All right.
Let me quiz you guys real quick.
All right.
Who
Not looking at spoilers, I promise.
Who would you say was the first biggest, or I guess who would I say, was the first biggest, most prominent Chris Jericho rivalry? Not, like, after Chris Jericho had already been established. The one...
China.
Maybe.
You go bigger than that.
Yeah, like, first biggest. Like, the first real super main event rivalry.
I'd say Triple H.
Probably. Triple
Okay.
H or The Rock, maybe.
Okay, the answer I was looking for was Shawn Michaels. After he threw his head into the Jeritron. That
Okay.
rivalry.
All right, I'm going back to
Yeah.
early Jericho, but yeah,
I'm talking after Jericho has already been a mainstay in the company and his first like real, like not real biggest rivalry in the sense that, oh, this is a big moment for Chris Jericho.
I just guessed Triple H because he main evented WrestleMania
Yeah.
18. Triple H.
Yeah,
That's a guessing.
but the
And China.
big rivalry in the sense like Jericho's a big star, Shawn Michaels is a big star.
Yeah.
And yeah, Jericho with the I was always a Shawn Michaels fan. You're
Yeah.
the reason I'm in wrestling.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a very personal driven rivalry.
Yes. So it's one of his most prominent rivalries.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with that in mind, there was the twofold of I was always a Shawn Michaels fan, which you brought up, and I'm now better than Shawn Michaels. I want to prove it. Shawn Michaels is washed up, and I'm better than him. We had Shawn Michaels then years later go on to lose back-to-back WrestleMania matches against The Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
To have Chris Jericho go off the heels of that and say, okay, now I'm going to step up, and I'm going to prove that what I was saying back then, that I am better than Shawn Michaels, that I've surpassed him, and that he doesn't have it anymore, but I can still go strong. I can lead the new generation of superstar by challenging The Undertaker. To have him do that and win would establish a huge passing of the torch from one generation to another, with Chris Jericho not being a new generation superstar, but definitely being a new locker room leader for this generation.
In WWE, I believe he is a new generation because his time in WWE started in '99,
Right.
whereas Undertaker had been running roughshod for 8 years
Well, yeah.
at that point. So yeah,
That's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
yeah,
Hey.
he's definitely in a different group of superstars
Right.
than Undertaker. Yeah, I got you. That makes sense because that would almost be kind of putting Jericho in that Triple H storyline because that was the whole thing. Was like Triple H was like, okay, my best friend couldn't do it, but I'm going to do it. And
Yeah. It's a passing of the guard from Shawn to Jericho.
Right.
Is what he's saying. And I like that idea especially because he didn't get it done during their WrestleMania 19 match.
Right.
Yeah, so yeah, it'd be almost, I couldn't beat Shawn Michaels then, but I just watched Shawn Michaels be humiliated 2 years in a row. Now it's my turn.
I'm going to prove I can do what he couldn't do
Right.
and take his spot, basically.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's good.
All right.
I give it a thumbs up. I give it a Bo Dallas, actually, which is better than a thumbs up. Because it's Bo-leavable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. I'm only doing one thumb, by the way. I don't do two thumbs thing.
Okay.
I'm holding Pepsi.
Yeah, if he tried it, he'd spill.
Not a sponsor.
Please sponsor.
Reason number 5. Match number 5.
Match number 5.
Reason number 5.
In the best of 5 series.
I'm gonna kind of piggyback off of your idea with the storyline idea.
Yeah.
But swerve it because, and this is also going to be kind of a dual, kind of a dual reason. Two ideas put into one.
All right.
With the fact that you could have Jericho in that I can be better than Shawn Michaels. So playing off of another storyline, if we had the streak end at WrestleMania 30 like we did,
Yeah.
Jericho could have been coming off the heels of the other best in the world not winning at WrestleMania 29. He could have proved at WrestleMania 30 he was truly best in the world
Yeah.
if he could do what CM Punk couldn't do the year before.
I almost feel like it's a great idea of Jericho going, hey, look, I can beat The Undertaker, and Undertaker beat all the guys that have beaten me at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have forgotten.
Nana poo poo. Would say Chris Jericho when he won.
Probably.
That'd be the very first promo the night after WrestleMania on Raw. Nana poo poo.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've got Jericho trying to prove that he's really the best in the world.
At
Which,
what he does.
Which a lot of people have, there's been a lot of people that have claimed they are the best in the world. So
Me?
So having Jericho
Best
take
in the
that
world.
initiative to face The Undertaker at WrestleMania would pretty much solidify that he was best in the world. Now, on top of that, if this match were to happen, The Undertaker and Chris Jericho have never had a feud.
No.
They have never run a program together longer than what I mentioned earlier in Elimination Chamber. So to have not only the first time ever at WrestleMania, not only to be piggybacking off of the CM Punk match, but you would have had a brand new rivalry that the WWE had never seen before.
Yeah.
This would be completely fresh in every sense of the word, other than obviously two veteran wrestlers.
Yeah.
But the match, the match and the build-up would have been completely new.
Yeah. Well, there's also one more wrinkle to what you're saying that Kevin mentioned and you kind of glossed over. That, like, yes, he'd have the Shawn Michaels thing. He'd be coming off the heels of the CM Punk thing. In between, he had the other rival that we mentioned, Triple H.
That's right.
So it would have been all of the guys who he's been, in these heated rivalries with, on the losing end, and like Kevin said, the proof, haha, I just beat the guy who beat everyone who's beat me.
Yeah, it would have been a big redemption moment for Jericho.
Yeah.
Especially to end something as prominent as the streak.
Jericho would have cried.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the fans would have actually maybe cheered.
I think as fans we probably would have been like, "Oh no, yeah. Oh,
Well,
what did we do?"
I would have been, maybe
Well, I think it would have been.
you,
Yeah.
Bay. I don't know how to cheer in between.
It would have been like this stunned silence, followed by just an ovation.
If you've listened to Diamond Dallas Page on any podcast, whether it's Steve Austin's show, Talk is Jericho, Art of Wrestling, he always talks about the moment, the first time he beat Macho Man. When Macho Man says, "I think I'm going to take the Diamond Cutter." When he hit the Diamond Cutter and pinned Macho Man Randy Savage, he said that the building went completely silent for just a second and then erupted because they're like, "Oh my God, Macho Man lost, but holy crap, DDP just won."
Yeah.
That's what this moment would have been. Like,
You
as
could hear
much-
Jericho hits the code breaker, and the crowd would go quiet.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Holy shit, Chris Jericho won!
Yeah.
It would have been an awesome moment. That right there is a WrestleMania moment.
Yeah.
Not Brock Lesnar not even realizing that he did it. Not Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman was the only thing that made that entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was Paul Heyman's
Paul Heyman and the one
moment.
black guy.
Yeah, streak face guy.
Which he still would have been there.
Yeah.
And he would have been, Chris Jericho just ended the streak. Woo!
Yeah.
All of our reasons are kind of like synonymous with each other. They all really play in because the fact that this never happened blows my mind.
Yeah.
The fact that Jericho Undertaker as a program itself never happened
Yeah, exactly.
blows my mind.
Yeah. And so I just think right there, more than enough reason as to why Y2J, the best in the world at what he does, the Ayatollah of rock and roll, Chris Jericho, should have ended the streak.
Yeah. Want to add a bonus reason?
Oh
'Cause
shit!
This is the reason I originally thought of, but said I wanted
Bonus reason.
but said I wanted a better reason.
This is the first time we've had a bonus reason since the very first one.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, bonus reason. Because The Miz has won a WrestleMania main event and Chris Jericho hasn't.
Why did you say that first?
That would have been great.
I think you hurt Kevin's brain. Kevin? Are you there?
Nobody's here at the moment. Leave a message after the beep.
Hey, Kevin, this is Travis. We need you to come back to the rundown because we've still got another video we got to do. We're done with Streak Week, but we still need to do the SmackDown rundown. So when you get this, call me back. All right, bye. So yeah, no, that's a great reason.
Yeah.
Like I can't believe I didn't think about that at all because I don't try and think about.
Yeah,
this.
no, I just saw a post online that said that today. So
Wow.
it was like fresh in my mind.
Huh.
But yeah,
Are you back?
he might be back for SmackDown.
Should we move on?
If I don't shoot myself first.
All right, we're gonna move on.
Oh,
That's
really?
it. We're gonna move on. We got the SmackDown rundown coming up. If you want to check out any of the other videos we post this week, they're all over the playlist. Right on the other side of Kevin Hawk. But yes, we've got SmackDown rundown. We're gonna see if WWE keeps on their awesome roll of amazing shows.
Playlist, do you believe what he just said is true?
Be sure to check us out at SmackDown.
I'm gonna puke.